I've been having a lot of trouble understanding the truth about Birth by Sleep, and I think it's because it doesn't have just one story. Birth by Sleep is a game with three separate stories. Terra's story is about being manipulated, where Terra goes from a confident swordsman into an empty puppet. He changes from a young man into a shadowy guardian trapped in chains. Ventus's story is the story about a loss of innocence, where he starts the story as a naive kid and ends the story asking for his closest friends to end him. Aqua's story is about responsibility, where she does everything she can to help everyone else, only to lose everything. It's easy to get stuck on the details. When did that happen? Does the timeline add up? I could sit here and explain every step of the story. I could say how it all lines up perfectly, just not the way you'd actually expect. I could point out that there's really only one major plot hole in the entire story, where all three of them win the festival, even though there's a scene where each of them gets the prize. So, unless Minnie Mouse announced the winner 3 times, you kind of just have to pick one person that received the award. But all of that is explained in-game. There's an interactive timeline that shows every moment is perfectly choreographed. While Terra is hanging out with Stitch, Aqua is fighting in the second Coliseum Cup alone. Terra and Ventus are in Neverland at the same time, but they never see each other. And Aqua is always one step behind. I mean, she's on a Segway, and Terra's on a motorcycle. So if you take travel time into account, and the fact that they aren't sure who went where, it all kind of lines up perfectly. The sad thing about Birth by Sleep is just how often everyone misses each other. Ventus fixes Cinderella's dress, but it just gets destroyed. He helps Zack train, but Terra still beats him. He still has the darkness take over his body. They are always right next to each other, but just like in that awards ceremony, they aren't together. They are separated. Terra is tricked. Aqua orders Ven to grow up and go home. Ven tries to explain everything that's happening to him, but none of them actually listen to each other. Aqua warns Terra that he's in danger, but he still ends up falling for Xehanort's scheme. And despite everyone trying desperately to protect Ventus from the horrors of the worlds, his heart always ends up shattered. You keep hoping with each playthrough that they'll all win this time, but they don't. They always lose. Terra falls to the darkness, Ventus rips himself apart, and Aqua sacrifices herself so that the others can continue to suffer. Birth by Sleep is a really fun game, where you merge attacks and you craft abilities, building a perfect set of attacks to destroy every single boss instantly, but you always do it alone. Because despite this being the only Kingdom Hearts game that had real multiplayer, the characters are still alone. It would have been easy to give them multiplayer together, but that's not the point. Sure, there's fun moments where they each interact with different cameos, where we all learn things about the lore, how Kairi's heart left her body, how the Heart Research Lab used to be, where the main organization members are from and what their names are, how Riku got the power to use the Keyblade, and we understand vaguely why Roxas looks like Sora. But ultimately, the story of Birth by Sleep is deeper than that. It's about 3 friends failing to communicate, where the man that was like their father tried to kill his own student, rather than just explain everything to him and take the risk. Xehanort isolated everyone. He manipulated them into growing distant, and made them chase people around the galaxy for so long that it made them all so confused that before they knew it, their master was dead, Terra felt lost inside, and Aqua couldn't stop any of it. Aqua is the main character of Birth by Sleep. Every other playthrough feels like a warm-up compared to her story on Critical. She's the only one who knows everything that's happening. She's the person who cleans up everyone's messes. And in the end, she's the only one who actually survives. There's a reason she got her own game before 3 came out. It's because she's the glue that holds it all together. And without her, the worlds were lost to darkness. Maleficent waged war on the City of Light. She built Villain's Valley and ransacked Radiant Garden. She united all of the Disney villains and hunted down all the princesses. In the 9 years after Birth by Sleep, she practically does control everything. She really is the master of all. Sure, Xehanort got a new body, and he modified this beautiful castle to create a synthetic, heartless army. But at the end of the day, he sacrificed himself, and everyone you meet in Birth by Sleep just so he could have 13 lives. He traveled across time and possessed people, with the end goal being nothing but making the Kai Blade. His evil plan to possess Terra, destroy Aqua, kill Ericus, and force Ventus to fight was all so he could make a cool sword-shaped key. He ruined so many lives, across so many worlds, just so he could make a key to a place that doesn't even exist anymore. When we go to Scala in Kingdom Hearts 3, it's just a memory. It's not even the real city. As far as we know, Hollow Bastion might be all that's left of a once great civilization. A kingdom that survived an apocalypse, only to fade into legend. The story Kairi's grandmother tells is the story of Union Cross. All the worlds fell to ruin, and humanity lived on in the hearts of children. Ava and the Dandelions are those children. All of Kingdom Hearts can be summed up as the machinations of a madman, misunderstanding legends that he never understood in the first place. Birth by Sleep is more than just a prequel. It's the foundation of most of what Kingdom Hearts has become. After Kingdom Hearts 2 was one of the best games ever made, Nomura needed to change things up. So rather than make a lazy sequel, he created one of the best designed, most fun portable games ever made. A game so good that years later it was ported to console and nothing changed. Birth by Sleep is a masterpiece that built the modern Kingdom Hearts landscape, and I love it. Anyway, I'm Aloney the Bard, and that's what Birth by Sleep is all about. Thanks for listening. Bye. Whew! Birth by Sleep is a magical game, and I still technically haven't beaten it on stream. I've been having a blast playing it, but damn, dude. Aqua's story has some difficulty spikes, man. I streamed the second Venus fight for like 4 hours, and I still didn't beat him. And I was grinding the whole time. If you're watching this video the day of release, I'm probably fighting him right now, 6 p.m. So, hop on by and check it out. It's been wild lately, 40 days in, and I'm still going strong. So if you like this video, here's a video about Radiant Garden, and here's a video about Baldur, an incredibly important character that is barely understood by anyone. Check him out. See you loners later. Bye.